I'll be talking about injuries. They can happen at any point in time in sports, either from landing or being hit awkwardly. ACL injuries are a huge culprit in sports. According to the American Orthopedic Society for Sports Medicine, they wrote about 150,000 ACL injuries occur in the U.S. per year. They also stated that about 70% of these injuries happen through mechanisms such as pivoting, cutting, sidestepping, out-of-control play, or an awkward landing. Female athletes are actually more susceptible to this type of injury more than males because of the way we're built anatomically. So naturally our women's hips are wider than men's, which increases something called the Q angle, which also increases the risks for possible knee injuries. Professional athletes like Alex Morgan and Adrian Peterson have suffered from ACL injuries, but both have come back and have continued to play in the sports that they play. Adrian Peterson competing at the highest level in the NFL, and Alex Morgan competing in the highest level of playing for the national soccer team. Now you're probably wondering why I'm still talking about ACLs. In 2014, I tore my ACL. So I was making a play I had made every game in a basketball game. I planted on my left foot, my knee cracked, popped, gave out from underneath me. I immediately knew something was wrong, but I took a week off and I came back the next weekend and played. So obviously I didn't know what had happened, but for the next 8 months I continued to play on a knee that occasionally popped while I was playing soccer and basketball. Not knowing that in December during a basketball practice I would go up for a jump shot and it would crack, pop, grind, anything, you name it, it happened. I went to finally get an MRI, and not only did I tear my ACL, but I had torn my menisci, both medial and lateral, and actually fractured part of my tibia. So the doctor actually gave me a choice. He said I could continue playing or I could stop. But then he continued on that, and he said if I continued to play, I could have arthritis by the time I'm 20 and a knee replacement by the time I'm 40. So talk about perspective. Surgery was scheduled for January. I actually played up until surgery, so we had a game that Saturday and my surgery was the next Wednesday. And all of a sudden my junior basketball season was over. The journey really began then. My ACL had not only been torn, but it had completely disintegrated, and that led the doctor to believe that I had torn it probably the first time it popped. So I began going to therapy every day with my high school athletic trainer for about 2 hours. I was very determined to come back for my senior soccer season. Usually the timetable for this type of injury is 6 to 9 months, and by month 7 I was back playing soccer with no restrictions and no problems. I can say that I don't have any regrets when it comes to this injury. I learned a lot from it, and I actually played my entire senior basketball season with no problems. And in the spring of my senior year, I came and signed to play here at Mount Union, where I still play today with no problems. And getting through an injury like this is not only physically but mentally tough. Mentally, I lived by 2 quotes the entire time: that everything happens for a reason. I may not know that reason, and I don't dwell on that reason. It happened, and I got through it. And then the second quote is, life never delivers anything that we can't handle. And I was given this situation, and I not only handled it, but it taught me things that I can continue to use in my life for more to come. Thank you.